Namo Namaha friends, I am RRK. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things bookish. Today I was in mood for doing a book tag. I love book tags. It's an excellent way to organize my thoughts on various book-related trivia that otherwise would be rotting in some dark, damp corner of my brain, unloved and forgotten like those memories in one of the most underrated but genius movie, Inside Out. So I decided to do the unpopular opinions tag. It's a very ironically popular tag that needs no introduction. Nevertheless, if it isn't obvious from the title, it's a tag where I will have questions that most probably will elicit unpopular opinions from me. I'll mention the original creator's name, or if I can find it, I will give you the link to the original tag video in the description box below. So without much further ado, let's move on with the video, shall we? The first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like. Now, for this, I will have to say Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is the story between the son of the first woman president of the United States and a prince of England. It's a romance story. The premise sounded very interesting and it had garnered a lot of attention, so I read it due to the hype. So one word for this is political propaganda. I despise the book, especially because of the blatant force-feeding of political propaganda into the reader's throat. I don't like it when I go into a book expecting a romance and get some political high road. Plus the hype this book received. I honestly expected much more romance, but all I got was gay smut. I didn't connect with any of the characters. It all felt a bit too much like rich kid problems. It was so out of my zone that I couldn't care less for any of it. So yeah, this one surprised me by how much I disliked it. So the second question is a popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate but you love. So for this, I will have to go with Survive the Night by Riley Sager. It has about 3.60 rating in Goodreads and it was released as recently as June 29th, 2021. One reason for the low rating could be because it's a recent release and people are yet to catch up on the latest releases. But I doubt it because for one thing, Riley Sager is one of the most popular thriller writers currently. Second, I see many 2 to 3 star ratings from the people I follow, people whose bookish opinions I trust. Charlie is a college girl, a college where a serial killer is killing off girls. After a personal tragedy, Charlie is unable to cope and decides to call it quits and go back to her hometown and hope to recover. While looking for a companion to drive her back home, she meets Josh, a complete stranger near the college notice board where she is trying to find out a companion and impulsively enlists his help to drive her back home. The real consequences of her haste hits her when she realizes that she's driving all alone in a car over a usually desolate highway with a stranger who could very well be the campus serial killer. Tell me that didn't send a chill down your spine just now. I loved this book. I was engrossed, I was thrilled and was on the edge of my seat throughout. I'm surprised by how many people are disliking this book. I do hear what they are saying, but it almost seems like most can't pinpoint what it is exactly that they don't like about this book. But I loved some parts so much that I gave this book 4 stars. I have written a detailed review for this in my blog, and yes, it really is one of my favorite thrillers of this year. Go figure. The third question is a love triangle where the main character ended up with the people you did not want them to end up, or one true pairing that you don't like. So no surprises here. The most common answer for this is Harry and Ginny, Ron and Hermione. Yes, I am also with them. I also don't like that pairing at all. I simply can never digest those two pairings. I still wonder what possessed J.K. Rowling to go that route. It's not a romance for us to expect a happily ever after, so I do not understand why she force-fitted that kind of a pairing. But let me also give you a pairing that's popular but not a juvenile one. That is Daphne and Simon from Duke and I, book 1 from the Bridgerton series. If there were ever a toxic relationship, that was one. Fourth question is a popular genre that you hardly reach for. So for this, I have two answers again. Poetry and horror. Can't understand one, can't stomach the other. Then the fifth question is a popular or beloved character that you do not like. I have two answers for this question too. This was a hard question. Not because I had difficulty choosing, but because I really had no choices. I don't dislike characters. If something about a character irritates me, I simply forget about them. I brush them off my mind space. It takes a lot for a character to become my favorite. I don't over-attach myself to characters usually. I say usually because there are some characters that I obsess over so much that if I could have brought them to life with my fangirling, I would have by now. My conundrum seems contradictory and complicated, but it is not. I think attention is a synonym for love and care, and that ignoring or neglect is the opposite of that. So even with books, I do the same thing. I completely ignore things that I do not feel the need to give my brain space to. So I had to do some searching to find which characters I disliked at that time. And I came up with two answers. First is obviously Daphne from Duke and I. Poor Daphne, she's getting so much rap from me, but her character really rubbed me the wrong way, and I honestly wouldn't want a friend like her in real life. Second is Laurie from Little Women. I found him too clingy and almost stalkery. I don't like clingy men. He reminds me of the following quote: a strong woman wouldn't settle for a weak man when it's been proven that the union of two bosses can build an empire. The sixth question is a popular author that you can't seem to get to. Oh, I have so many. Maybe I should do a video on the authors or books I have zero interest in reading. For now, let me name just one. That is Stephen King. Mainly because I can't stomach horror or filthy language that involves loads of cursing and swearing, both of which he seems to be reputed for. Seventh question. A popular trope that you are tired of seeing. For example, Lost Princes, corrupt rulers, so on and so forth. Teenagers saving the world. Can we stop that trend? I am yet to see a teenager saving the world YA fantasy style. A teenage who can spout anything more than "how dare you," mostly at their parents' behest. So yes, I am exhausted by that trope. I seriously would love a middle-aged father or mother taking on the entire world. I wouldn't mind a story where the grandma goes all Parameshwara Bahubali style and unleashes her fury on the world. Yeah, give me a strong bring it on type of grandmother or grandfather. Let's leave the teenagers alone for a second, shall we? Then eighth question is a popular series that you have no interest reading. For this, I would go with the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, or any series that has more than 4 to 5 books per series and 500 plus pages per book. I find it hard to commit myself to any huge series. Nope, I simply cannot. Ninth question is, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? Without question, the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies, but I would go for the less popular answer for this, that is Me Before You movie adaptation based on Me Before You novel by Jojo Mace. Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin, Sam Claflin pairing. God, I think I would have preferred the movie makers to stab me in the heart and twist it rather than making me watch the pain of the couple in that movie. I cried for hours after watching the movie. It was perfection. By the way, the stabbing in the heart and twisting thing was a joke, an expression. God, the kind of disclaimers we have to put out these days. No joke, right? So that was the end of my unpopular opinions tag video. I enjoyed answering the questions and I hope you enjoyed listening to it as well. If you haven't done this tag before and you would like to, please consider yourself tagged. What are your unpopular opinions? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're not feeling too chatty, leave me a sunshine emoji to spread some cheer and to let me know you stayed with me till the end. As usual, I have given all of my socials in the description box below, so do hit me up there with your questions, comments or feedback. If you like the content I'm putting out, please do consider liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. And yes, don't forget to click on that notification bell to be notified of all my new videos. Until next time, stay safe, happy and healthy. Om Shanti.